Happy New Year, y'all. We are in 2025. Happy New Year. I am so excited for this year. I'm so excited. I know we on day 11 in this new year, and let me tell y'all how God is showing out, okay? He is showing up and he is showing out. So I definitely wanted to jump on here and just have this conversation with y'all. Um, Welcome. I know I have been missing for a couple of days. However, we are back. We are live and in effect. I had some stuff that took place, and it really, like set the tone for 2025. So I really wanted to just come on here and hope that what I have to say inspires someone, motivates someone, definitely connect and resonate with um, someone. Hey sis. Um, so this here is really, really. I know I say this all the time, but this is really near and dear to my heart, because it's talking about my journey, so far, and just what I have experienced. So I want to talk to you all about planting the seed, watering it, and reaping the harvest. And I know, y'all are probably like, what is she about to dive into um, today? And I won't be before you long. You know how the pastors say, and then next, you look up and football about to start. But no, seriously, I won't be here before you long. But I really thought it was important to come on and share with you all, that it is going to be okay. It Get excited for 2025. You know, it is a lot that is in store for you. Um, 2025, I could feel it. I could feel it for myself, and I'm so excited for just everybody around me. I'm so excited, even for the people I don't know, that 2025 is our year. Someone, my good sister, once said to me that everyone deserves what they desire. So I know that we got those vision boards going. I know we got prayer boards going. So I hope that this year we all continue, with what that vision looks like for us. So I just wanted to talk to you about, like I said, planting the seed, watering it, and reaping the harvest. So I do have a question for you. Have you ever planted something and had to wait patiently for it to grow before you could enjoy the fruits of your labor? And so obviously what I'm talking about is like a metaphor, right? Some of you all may be plant moms, but what I'm talking about here is just more so, just overall about life, right? I want to talk to you all a little bit about planting that seed. That's the beginning stages, right? When I just mentioned about the prayer board, the vision board. Um, for me, I planted a lot of seeds when I said how I wanted Brittany's life to look like going forward. And, I've shared that with some of you all. I wanted to change, a lot. I wanted my life to look different. I wanted to live differently. I wanted to overcome anxiety. I wanted to, be more financially mature and all of these great things. Um, and so when we talk about planting that seed, that is you actually sitting down and saying, what is it? How do I want my life to look? How do I want my relationships to look? Whether you are a mother or father, whether you are in a relationship, with your partner, your spouse, even a coworker, these are all relationships, right? So when you sit down, whether it's at the end of the year or beginning, whenever you sit down and you really look at yourself, I hope that y'all sit down and look at yourself. Let me say that, because it is it's really great to do, to sit down and when we look over and look back and really think things through. But y'all, I'm so excited just to share with you all what took place for me. But when we talk about the beginning stages, right? That's when you sit and you dream, and those dreams don't always have to stay in our minds. They could definitely become a reality when we do the work, right? So ask yourself, what is it that I want my life to look like? How do I want to live? How do I want people to remember me by? Let's go a little deep. So we get deep here in the ladies' lounge. These are all questions that I encourage you to ask yourself if you haven't done so already. And if you have, go back over it. What are your ideas? What's your goal? That vision that you have with yourself. For example, is it starting your business? Pursuing a new hobby? Is it learning a new skill? Do you want to go back to school? Do you even want to start a podcast? Whatever it is that it looks like for you, that is you planting the seed. That's you saying, I am going to do this, and you fill in that blank. Um, so for Brittany, I said that I wanted to overcome anxiety. I wanted to be more spiritual and spiritually connected. I also tapped into more so of what I wanted my footprint to look like after I experienced the transition of my father. So I got real serious and really didn't even know what I was getting myself into, and the seeds that I was planting. Right. So I made this decision to fully commit March 14th, 2020, when my dad passed March 13th. So I became really serious after I watched him transition, and it was a lot of spiritual things that took place watching him do this. Now, growing up, I grew up in church. I was very active in church. I was in the choir. I would go to church every Sunday, and I would even keep that going when I had my son up until some point when work took over and life was life. But I always grew up with a spiritual based family. One thing I always knew was the power of prayer. I didn't understand it, of course, being so young, but I grew up with it. If you get what I'm saying, if that's making sense. So I didn't realize that these seeds were being planted in me. And thank God I grew up with parents who instilled in me great morals and values that I can utilize those tools today. Um, so here we are, where now I've made this decision to commit and say, I really, really, really want to zone in on what my footprints look like, because that matters more to me than than being here on earth. Like, y'all, what y'all gonna talk about when I'm gone is the good, is what I want to make sure is all good, great things. So I really still didn't realize that I was planting the seed then. And talking about overcoming anxiety, and definitely trusting in myself. That is something that I definitely said that I wanted to do back in 2020. So that was me planting my seed. It was, your seed don't even have to look like an actual seed, right? we're not we're not really planting fruits and vegetables because those seeds look a little different. But the power of the tongue is so powerful. Um, and so be mindful of what you speak over yourself, because you can speak life and death over yourself. And so when I made the decision to plant my seed back in 2020, um, I did a lot of work. I dedicated myself back to Christ, um, and I got really serious. I really journaled. I was doing a lot of research of how to overcome anxiety, understanding that a lot of it has to do with the food that we put in our body. It has a lot to do with things that we watch. Like I said, the power of the tongue as well, and also just exercise. So it's definitely a it's a change overall. It's a mindset change. It's a diet change. It's just a change overall that I didn't realize I was I was really getting myself into. And I didn't share it with anybody because this was a personal journey for Brie. This is something that I knew I needed to do, and I needed to fully understand, and being honest and transparent, because that's what we can do here in the ladies lounge. Um, Now, when I was planting this seed, that that process looked real ugly. Okay. Like I said, I was dealing with the loss of my dad, and not only was I wanting to overcome anxiety, but I was dealing with depression. Depression came on, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Okay. Um, and never been hit with a ton of bricks before, but anything that I dealt with depression, I don't even want to have them bricks hit me. However, I lost a lot. I lost a lot. Everything that I lost was materialistic. Um, but mainly I was losing myself. A lot of us say that we, we lose ourselves when we are in this relationship, um, and we are dedicated to everything else around us but to ourselves. And when I lost everything, that changed for me. Um, in particular, one big thing that I did lose, and I remember talking to my mom about it and cried. Of course, I'm her daughter, so she's hurting as a parent for me, because what can you do? There is nothing in that moment you can do. Of course, I do know that she prayed for me. I do know I have a praying mom. I had some praying grandmothers. Those that understand, you know what I mean. Um, and so when I was experiencing this loss, it something came to me, the spirit came to me, and I told my mom then in that moment, I said, those are materialistic. It had to leave. It didn't leave in the way that I wanted to, and it definitely wasn't a part of the plan for me to have. When I tell y'all I was stripped of everything, I'm talking about I literally had maybe the clothes on my back, but everything was taken away from me. And I remember just the only thing I could say to my mom at that time was these things needed to go. As much as emotionally, we have that tie to a lot of stuff that's materialistic. Only thing I could say to her was this needed to go. And I'm not going to be in this space um, much longer. But I understood what I needed to say, but didn't understand what was happening. Again, that was planting the seed. And I'm talking to y'all like this is now we in 2021. Um, and I'm like, what what is it that is about to happen? Like all of this stuff was taken from me. I don't have nothing. I'm over here, like trying not to spiral out of control because my dad was taken away from me. Now all of this stuff was taken away from me. Like Brittany, we gotta get a hold of ourselves, young lady. Um, and that's when I really, really, really dive deep into becoming more spiritual. Um, I listened to Michael Todd a lot. I was taking notes, and I started dreaming, envisioning what it is and how I wanted my life to look. I knew that I had to make a change, and it had to be I had to be disciplined, and also too I needed this change to kick in. Like, come on, God, I don't want to live like this. This is not a feeling that I want to have much longer. And so, when I became very disciplined in what it is that I wanted to do, a lot of things started to come together in a sense, start to make sense a little bit. But it's far more, I mean, I don't understand. I still didn't understand it. And I'm able to sit here and smile because I just want to fast forward to now, but I have to take y'all on this journey to just understand that it is okay. It's going to be okay. Um, and I always use myself for you to know that it is going to be okay. And so now, when you are going into this healing journey, it's not a hashtag. It gets real. It gets dark. It get lonely, because certain things you can't talk about, and certain things you don't want to talk about. I don't want to sit here and explain to everybody what I'm doing. I don't want to sit here and have the conversation, like repeat the conversation, repeating what happened when it's like you have to live with that every day with yourself anyways. I don't want to revisit that. I had tunnel vision, I was focused, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I gotta zone in right now because I love y'all, but I love Brittany more. And so I'm planting seeds left and right. And I'm talking about y'all in the midst of what I have going on. Of course, life is still life and around me, and people are still going through things. I'm still losing. I still have death in my family. That life doesn't stop. However, what I can say is what I've experienced at a young age helped me to to go through life. You know, I experienced death at a really, really young age. I come from a really big family on my dad's side, and one of the downfalls of having that big family, of course, is that people have to leave this earth. So every year since 2008, I have lost a family member. Um, and that was hard to deal with. A lot of my anxiety was around death. I feared death. I had the biggest fear of death because everybody I was losing left and right. And that fear of death stopped when I watched my dad transition. And it was just one of those like, wow, okay, well, my dad did it, not that it was. But anyway, he experienced that. He went through it, and for me, my fear stopped. My dad, I'm a daddy's girl. You know me. I am a daddy's girl to my heart. So to watch him go through that experience for me, it was like I have to get a hold of myself because one day too, my time, will my clock will stop ticking. So again, that's why I zoned in on what is it that I want my footprints to look like and the legacy that I want to leave behind. And so, you know, planting these seeds and understanding the power of vision, right? I know some of you have heard that you're not supposed to tell a blind person their vision because they can't see. And it doesn't mean, and it's a lot of metaphors in tonight's topic, right? So we're not talking about someone who is actually literally blind. But I'm blinded to, I can't see your vision. That's your vision. This is why I didn't want to talk about Brittany's vision. Because it's my vision and you can't see it. And it's not going to make sense. And it's probably out of order. It probably wasn't organized chaos if I would have talked about it to you. You know what I'm saying? But then I got to explain my organized chaos, which is why I didn't want to talk about it. But I knew what my vision was and I stood 10 toes down on that. And so it's so important to have a clear vision of what it is that you want your life to look like. What are your goals? It has to be clear. If it ain't clear for nobody else, because it's nobody else's business, it has to be clear to yourself. You know, you're not gonna blindfold yourself and then go get in a car and drive. For me, I'm in Florida. You ain't gonna go get on 95 with your eyes, you know what I'm saying, with the blindfolds over your eyes and then try to navigate through through 95 on the on the highway. That's not gonna make sense. What you think gonna happen if you try to do that? So you want to make your vision clear and write it down. If you know, you know. Write it down, make it clear, and tone in on. Quiet the noise around you. And this is where I'm going to talk about watering that seed that you planted. Um, this part of watering it is talking about the consistency and effort. I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot of stuff that I have never been consistent about until when I made a decision and I chose Britney. And so when I'm on this journey and I'm choosing myself, that consistency and discipline was real. And it is something that I'm really excited about to share and to understand. Like I can be consistent, you know. We consistent about a lot of things that's a little bit more easier for us. Like we are very consistent with being on Shein, catching them sales. We're very consistent with being out during the holidays and shopping again, catching the sales. We're very, very consistent. Some people, even when it comes to just watching shows, we could zone in and we could binge watch a show like it ain't nothing. But why not put that effort and consistency into yourself? Again, do you want to start that business? Do you want to gain a new skill set? Are you trying to get to the next level at work? Put the consistency and effort back into yourself because it's so much that can come out of it. You never know. You could be on the TV and we could be watching you, whatever it is that your goal is. Um, so when you plant that seed in and you watering it, sometimes it don't always The watering part, that's when you getting your hands dirty. That's when you're getting down in there and really just making sure you checking that soil often to see, making sure it's not too watery. Um, but then also too, when you're watering that plant, sometimes you're watering it with your tears. This is the ugly part, right? Because sometimes you have to face the reality of, Brittany, you was not a great friend at one point. I wasn't valuing people at one point. And I really I cried. I had to cry. I'm talking about y'all, that ugly cry. When you are being real and understanding how this goes, you know, it I don't even know no other way to explain it. It's just really that ugly cry just really hits you. You're like, boom, like I get it, the light bulb goes off. And so those tears, they're watering that seed that you just planted. And you don't even realize it. And sometimes the tears, not even always an ugly cry. Something good could come out of your journey that you're on, right? Of planting the seed. And you just have to cry about it just to release the stress, the release, relax your muscles. And then you also have a good cry when you look back and like, wow, I see where I've come from. Wow, I can see that these relationships are changing. Wow, I did get that promotion at work. So it's some tears are congratulatory tears, and then some are, that's that ugly cry. But either way, the tears are watering that seed that you planted. So I said that to say that it is okay to cry. um, it's okay to go through that stage of not being okay, but still understanding because your vision is so clear that you understand that, you know, hey, I'm right now, I'm in the mud. I'm grinding. I'm doing the work that I have to do. And that ain't gonna always look, it ain't gonna look pretty. You gotta take our lashes off. We may not be getting a haircut because we are focused and zoned in on what it is that we have to do, and it's doing the work. It's practicing those skills. It's teaching you how to show up for yourself. During this watering stage is when I really started to trust Brittany. And the moment I started trusting Brittany, that's when my confidence went to another level. And I'm not talking about the confidence of looks. I'm talking about the confidence of understanding that you can um, overcome a lot of things that you didn't even know that you can overcome. Now, that's a different level of confidence. Okay. I will take that confidence any day. To my favorite um, saying is, let your faith be bigger than your fears. And when you have that confidence to let your faith be bigger than your fears, if you know, you know. Like, I don't even think I have the words to help you understand that level of confidence. But if you haven't reached there yet, I hope that this is something that's encouraging you to get there, to start it, um, to not worry and panic and create all of these scenarios in your head that probably more than likely is not even going to happen. But we are in our own way a lot of times. So during this watering stage, you have to learn how to get out your way because that's the only way that you are going to show up for yourself. There's nothing that nobody is going to be able to tell you. Like, yes, it is great to have a support system in your corner who's going to share, some positive words, give you those affirmations. We need those. We need them. However, it is not going to mean anything if you do not believe and trust in yourself. That's first and foremost, because these words, that they're throwing at you is not going to stick because you're not trusting in yourself. So you always want to make sure that you are trusting yourself and have patience. Have patience. I told y'all I started this journey March 14th, 2020, and we are now in January 11th, 2025. If I haven't learned anything else, I have learned patience. I have learned patience with myself. I have learned patience with everybody around me, especially the ones that I love and hold dear to my heart, because I understand that we are all human. And sometimes, you may have to restart something just to get it right. And it's okay. It's okay to restart it. Um, just have that patience and persistence and trust that growth is happening even if it's not visible, right? So that goes back to the power of prayer. We pray about things, and especially when we're not specific, and then God gives us what we ask for, and it doesn't come in this gold box with a red ribbon, that says to Brittany. It's not going to be presentable like that. That for us, I was told I have an I personality. So for us to have that I personality that like the blinky and flashy stuff, we're not gonna look at that and be like, well, you know, what is this going on here? Um, it looks different. It you're gonna get what you need. Let me say that. When we are talking about the visibility of planting this, just know when you plant the seed and you're watering it, you're gonna get um, what is needed. It's just not going to look. It's not going to come in that package. It's not. You're not going to get that alert like the Amazon alert us and let us know like, hey, your package has been delivered and is at the front door. No, baby, you may have to run right into that package, okay? And may have to get knocked down and get back up. You're gonna be like, well, what is this? I ain't asked for this. You kind of did. You did. You just wasn't specific on how you wanted it to look. And God's like, well, I got you. But all right, it's gonna look this way. And so these are things that have learned during the watering stages of planning this. And it definitely changed my mindset for sure. And you guys keep looking down because I took notes this past week. I have had a lot of stuff take place in a good way. And I am humbly overwhelmed. And I'm so excited for what 2025 has um, in store for us. But the mindset is important. Um, Positive and growth oriented mindset during this stage is so important because it's easy to feel like, to give up. One thing we all are very consistent on is giving up. I'm speaking for everybody. There is something that you have given up on, and it's so easy to do it. You don't even realize you gave up on it until you look back and you're like, what was my goals again? Wait, I didn't do I didn't even lose weight. I thought I wanted to lose 30 pounds. I thought I wanted to gain that new skill set. Why have I been on this job for 2 years and have not been promoted? So, you know, you have to have that positive mindset because if not, it will take you off track. I was having a conversation with my mom earlier today, and I expressed to her how now I go through life looking at the positive. I find something positive in every situation, and it is easy to do. Even in the hardest, toughest situation, there are still some things I haven't tackled yet, and it's not that I don't want to tackle it. It's just more so of I'm just waiting on the right time, and I've just prayed over it and I said, when God sees fit for me to tackle this, He is going to let me know. Okay. Ain't gonna be nothing I can do about it because I have been there, done that when He has let me know. And we gotta do the work. But I told her, I said, Mom, what I've learned to do is pick out the good, you know. Um, hey, I may not like how you talk to my son, but guess what? At the end of the day, I know that you love him. Okay. And that's what I hold on to is that you love my son and we just gonna keep it pushing. And the love may look different from how I grew up, but that's what I zone in on. You know what I mean? Like saying, hey, I haven't got this promotion at work, but I have been a lot more consistent in, showing up on time. I have been a lot more consistent in focusing on XYZ of whatever it is that you need to focus. Always stay committed to the positive and things. There is positivity in everything. And I'm just going to be honest and say it here. Even when we talk about social media. And I understand right now a lot of people are so concerned with TikTok. And the only reason why you are so concerned with TikTok is because that is where you are literally putting all your eggs in one basket. That's what you're doing. And I'm here to be honest and open and transparent with you and understand that it is all with love. Don't put your eggs in all of one basket, especially when you're trying to grow your business. That doesn't make sense. So now we're being shown that, in the digital world, things can be taken away from us. But when we take it back down to our foundation and our roots and actually get in person and network and have these, build these communities, nobody can take nothing from us. When we are in a space together, you know what they say, when two or more are gathered, and I'm gonna just let you finish the rest. So these are just some nuggets that I just wanted to drop with just drop on you to just help you understand and own your growth, own the vision, make it clear because and get out your own way. Stop making excuses. That's what we do. And the only reason I can have this hard conversation is because I've been there, done it, still doing it, still learning lessons. I don't know everything. But I could tell you one thing. When I do learn my lesson, I'll be sitting in here in front of y'all having a conversation to tell you about the lesson I learned. Because that's what this podcast is all about. It's about having the conversations to help someone else. Our parents did what the best that they could raising us. And it's our time to now carry that torch and make sure that we are having conversations, we are leading by example because there are people who are watching us. It's not always for the generation that's upcoming behind us. It's not always for that. It's also for our own generation. And sometimes our elders learn from us as well. I have a lot of conversations with my mom, and I do believe that we learn from each other. And that's one thing that I do love about this woman. She is very, if you know my mom, she gonna give it to you raw, like she give it to you straight, no chaser. It's always with love. But I do believe now that we are in a space where she learns a lot from me, and the greatest thing that I am hearing a lot more of is how people enjoy Britney, enjoying the woman that I am today. And y'all, I have done a lot of work to be um, and just being more realistic. I used to run away from harsh conversations because I thought it was confrontational. It's not confrontation. These hard conversations is what we actually need to have, not only with each other, but most importantly with ourselves. You know how many times I sit in here and I'm like, girl, you need to get your ish together. Okay. And you need to get it together quick. Because the way that this is going, you're not going down the path of being able to have money in your savings because you're always ordering from DoorDash. Let's just be realistic. Then because you always ordering from DoorDash, how you gonna unbig your back, Brittany? If you always ordering from DoorDash. Like these are conversations that I have with myself. So remember to breathe. Okay. You want to have the patience. Um, and you also want to breathe through this process because it is a process and it's going to take time, y'all. I just said I planted my seeds in 2020. We are in 2025. And if you are following me on TikTok at Ladies Lounge Podcast, if you are following me on Facebook at Britt Danielle, um, I'm also on Instagram and Snapchat. Or if you are a part of me in real life, you are able to see the growth within me unfold right before your eyes. So make sure you're when you plant your seed, that is you making the vision clear. That is you being realistic with yourself to say, this is what I want to do in 2025. This is how I want to show up for Brittany. This is how I want to show up for Lavanya. This is how I want to show up for Crystal, Andronette, Keisha. And I'm just Lexi. I'm just naming people. Keandre, my son. This is how you want to show up. Mom, this is how you want to show up in 2025. What does that look like? Make the vision clear, write it down. Okay. And when you're watering it, you want to be realistic with yourself. You want to make sure that you have the patience and that you are breathing. Because when I tell y'all what is about to unfold, you may want to make sure you have enough oxygen to to enjoy what is going to take place, because faith without works is dead. So when you are doing the work, God is going to show up, and He is going to show up in a way that you won't even imagine. Again, I can't even put forth the words of um, what happened, but we're gonna get there so y'all can understand why I even came on tonight to have this conversation um, with you. But breathe, okay? We want to breathe, and now we're gonna dive into reaping the harvest. So we planted our seed and we watered it. Um, in that watering stage, let me let you know too. When I said to breathe and have the patience and understanding, that watering stage is where you're going to sit for a while, okay? And I'm not talking about you just sitting, watching this seed and seeing, well, what's gonna come out of it. No, because you still gotta show up for yourself. You still have to go to work. You still have to mom. You still have to wife and girlfriend, and do all of these great things that you do in your life. So you still have to do the work, but know that there's work being done with the seed that is planted. And so when you have watered it, and now we're waiting for the harvest. The harvest part is the most humbling part of it. This is where you're going to have fun. This is where people are really, really, really going to start to dive in, and your energy is just different in this harvest stage. This is, of course, this is my stage, right? Because this is the fun stage, because this is where you get to see everything unfold, all the hard work and dedication that you put in. Um, you still this is the fun part of it. This is the celebratory part, where you get to see the rewards, and that breath that I told you. Make sure that you're breathing through this process. You are going to take one deep breath during this process, and I'm telling you, I can't even think of the words to help y'all to understand. But I'm gonna say it to you like this. I wanted to get out of this hole financially. I wanted to get out of this hole. And I knew that I wanted to start saving. I wanted to start opening up different accounts, because your girl over here, I'm trying to learn how to be more financially mature. So I got to open up numerous accounts to do so. But I had to get out this hole. I was in a hole so deep that I was like, how I didn't see no way out. However, I remember saying these words. I said, "But God, I trust you." And once I said that, when I tell you, I was like, not only God, I trust you. I said, I don't see a way out of this, but I know you do. And however I need to get this done, I'm here. That's the only thing I kept saying is, I'm here. I'm here. That's it. Do you know my job opened up overtime? I cried when they opened up overtime, y'all, because I knew that was God's way of saying, I hear you. So again, when we're going back to leaning on that faith without works, right? Because we do all this talk about how great God is, how good He is, but God also is like, I ain't gonna be over here doing all this work now and showing up for you, and you ain't showing up for yourself, nor are you showing me that this is what you really want. Okay, so again, and it also goes back to, if you're not specific on what you're praying for and what you're asking for, He is going to put it right in front of you, and you got to know. You have to know that this is the I'm gonna use my brother phrase right now. This is the keys and codes that you need to get through this door here, that is going to take you to the next level that you need to get to. And so I'm like, okay, overtime is available. Boom. Without hesitation. After, of course, I wipe my tears. Because again, remember I told y'all, you're gonna have some great tears, that's still watering some things, right? All the tears are not always just about sadness, but it's just humbly being grateful and understanding, like, God is real. Okay? This is real life. So I'm like, all right, Brittany, we got to come up with a plan, girl. Get yourself together, wipe your tears. But what is your plan? And y'all, my plan was to pull in 40 hours of overtime. 40 hours. So people who have my personal number was able to contact me, but I was not hardly on social media because again, tunnel vision. I knew I needed to get myself out this hole, and nobody was gonna come that deep, come get me. Not in a bad way. It's just of how financially, it's how deep of a hole that I was in. And so I held my head down and I bust down these 40 hours. And now I could share my story and say during that time, it was nights I wasn't eating. I would just drink water and go to bed. My mom would call me and she's like, "What did you have for dinner?" Just how I know, I always tell my mom, I was like, "Mom, you're such a mom," because your mama know, right? And she don't ask me not every day like she was doing during this time of what you ate. And I was telling her, "Oh, I just had a little something." Yeah, I was going to bed and wasn't even because that's just all the energy I had. I didn't even have the capacity to think about cooking, none of that stuff. I just knew I had a goal set. In the midst of going through this, I had people blessing. Um, and I was like, still, God, oh my God, like you you are wonderful. You are magnificent because like you could see, and I'm so humble, like I'm so grateful for these are at the time, these were big blessings to me. But that was just the start. Okay. So and then also to a part of this whole plant the seed and water it and reap the harvest. I also asked my crew. I asked them. I said, this year for my birthday, I want to celebrate. I don't know what that looked like, y'all, but I know I wanted to celebrate my birthday. Without hesitation, my crew was like, "We there. We coming to Jacksonville. Whatever it is that you want to do, we gonna do it." And that's what they did. They showed up for me. And so that is a part of when we're talking about planting the seed, watering it, and reaping the harvest. I had a birthday. I celebrated a birthday last Friday, January 3rd, and I was surrounded around so much love. I was overwhelmed in a great way. Just the outpour of not only just being humble with accepting the happy birthday, but a lot of it was you deserve it. That hit different because I just came from y'all ain't know I wasn't eating at night, and just drinking water and going to bed. Y'all ain't know like financially I ain't have it like that. But of course you don't we don't always want to look like what we going through and what we've been through. We just gotta hold our head down and do the work. And so that's what I was doing. Only to come up now and now we're going into my birthday week. I got family in town that's here to celebrate with me. I have friends that came to celebrate with me. And when I tell you that was the best birthday that I have ever experienced as an adult because it was intentional. I intentionally wanted these people to be here to celebrate with me. And it was more than what I imagined. And I'm so grateful. Thank you all. Thank you to the crew. These bossy chicks, I'm gonna say bossy chicks on there, but they know what I really call them. But I really, really, really love them and appreciate them for showing up for me. And the reason why I was able to enjoy it so much was because I was present. I wasn't in my head, like, what am I how am I gonna pay for this? And how am I gonna do that? I allowed people to show up for me, and I allowed myself to show up for myself. And also within the midst of that, still trusting in him. And then I'm still going through this. I'm like, God, I know I trust you. Rent coming up. I'm celebrating my birthday. But look, rent is due. So we still gotta get through this celebration and then also go back to life is life. So I bust down the 40 hours of overtime. I'm here celebrating my birthday. And like as always, when the noise is now quieted down, you are left with you and your thoughts. Okay. And so when I finally went back to work on January 8th, it was an eye opener for me. Like just reflecting on that weekend, and really understanding. And see, there's another thing. I tell y'all, when you're going through this planting your seed and watering it, you become really, really deep. When especially when you are spiritually connected. So you don't see stuff on surface level anymore. Like, yeah, I post stuff on TikTok and social media, and it looks good. And don't get me wrong, we had a time. But for me to go back and reflect, it was deeper than that. It was like, you know, here it is. I asked, they showed up. I am just that important that you showed up for me. Acts one time, we went into planning stages. And to see it come through means the world to me. Okay. We didn't even have to do everything that we did, but we like they said to me, so I didn't want to have this pajama game night, y'all. I was like, I'm always in the house. I want to go out the house. And they was like, but you ain't never been in the house with us. I'm like, oh, God, how is this gonna go? When I tell you a time was had, I went live on TikTok. I mean, we had a ball. We had a ball. And I enjoyed every bit of it. There is no regrets. There is not. If I could go back, I would change this. Absolutely not. I would not change nothing at all. It was very intimate and it was personal to me. Um, and so when everybody left and I was left with myself, it was like, man, I was so energized from that weekend that I'm like, I know 2025 is my year. Like I could feel it. Um, but again, still don't even know and understand what that really means. So when I'm sitting with myself and just trying to quiet the noise, because now here it is, all my thoughts are coming back because it's quiet. So that's another thing that I've learned when trusting in myself is how to quiet the noise. We have to quiet the noise. Sometimes that noise ain't even nobody talking to you but yourself. You know, the self doubt kicks in, like, the worry, the stress, all of these other things. You have to learn how to shut that up because that's really what's holding you back. That's why you ain't start your business. That's why you ain't picked up them skills and did what you need to do. It's because you are in your way. So you know, when you learn how to tell your mind to shut the hell up, trust me, life will be so much easier. Um, and so I quiet the noise in my head and I was just like, something is about to happen. That ain't it. Not to say that it wasn't enough, but that ain't it. Brittany, something is about to happen. I don't know. And I'm still over here like, look, we gotta pay these bills. I'm like, okay, I bust down 40 hours of overtime plus an additional, I want to say like 15 hours the week of my birthday leading into that, y'all. So we talking about like now what we at 50, 60 hours of overtime. And I was like, God, I trust you. Boom. That's it. God, I trust you. Okay, let's see what happened. When I tell y'all, not only did I get out of this hole that I was in, I'm talking about I got out of it and it was down to a T. I'm still receiving blessings on top of that, right? So when I started back work on Wednesday, Michael Todd, I love, love, love Michael Todd, Transformation Church, Pastor Transformation. He is doing a 21-day prayer and fast. I didn't know this because I've been out of touch now. Get back on track. So I turned that on Wednesday and I had it playing in the background. I have been listening to this ever since, right? And again, I didn't even know what was coming out of this. I was like, I never wake up and want to listen to, Michael Todd. I'll have like some lo-fi music going on, something like that. But I turned on Michael Todd and just listening to him, right? And so in the midst of that, again, I'm still being blessed. People are still blessing me. People are still loving up on me. But y'all, this morning, really, really, really got me. I went to the freezer and I'm sharing my story. I'm sharing myself being vulnerable with y'all. I went to the freezer. I got food falling out my freezer. Okay. This is no exaggeration to my young people. This no cap. I had it was a doggone Texas cheese toast box that fell out the freezer, y'all. I broke down crying. I'm listening to what Michael Todd is saying, and I'm taking notes. So if you follow me on Facebook, A lot of my posts this morning was because the message that I was receiving from Michael Todd, I just had to post it. And so I just broke down crying. And I broke down crying because it hit me. I lost everything in 2020. I didn't have the confidence, the trust in myself. Um, I didn't have all of those things. I didn't have that fuel to the fire. So I allowed things to go. I didn't care about things back in 2020. And I said, the overflow, the overflow of blessings that is about to take place in 2025 hit me with just the Texas cheese toast. Let me tell y'all how deep it gets when you plant the seed, when you water it, and you are reaping the harvest. I cried and I said, thank you, Lord. I cried, and I said, you did it. I said, Brittany, you did it. You did it. I just told y'all I wasn't going to bed. I was going to bed. I wasn't. I'm Mama. Mama, I love you. Mama, I love you. I'm telling my mama story that I ate. And I was just so focused on, the vision. It was clear, y'all. And so just something like that to go to your freezer and a Texas cheese toast fall out and you just break down crying because you are so humble and you are so appreciative and you are damn sure proud of yourself for the hard work, the dedication, not giving up and believing in yourself. So I wanted to come on here and I wanted to share that with you because it is so important to understand. Number one, you have to show up for yourself. You have to make that vision clear. You have to trust in yourself and know that God is listening. Whatever your higher power is listening and it's real. But you don't see the results because you don't believe in yourself. You don't see the results because you ain't doing the work. You have to quiet the noise around you. You have to zone in on what it is that you want to do and believe in it, see it. Y'all heard me talk about this mogul retreat. I see the mogul retreat. I hear people saying that they want to get their business started. I hear people saying that they want to come and network and they want to come and support. People want to love upon you, but y'all need to start getting out your way. There is nobody else stopping you. When you look around, and I hear a lot of people say, it's just me and them four walls. So what's your excuse? I'm here to tell y'all that it is real. You have to do the work. You got to get out your way and start trusting yourself. This ain't nobody else is accountable for your actions. Brittany is accountable for herself. I could come on here and I could talk to y'all and I could tell my story because I'm accountable for self. What I go through on my end, that has nothing to do with nobody else. So I'm not here to tell a sob story. I'm here to be uplifting and inspiring. That's what we do in the Ladies Lounge. And let y'all know that it is going to be okay. 2025, man, I don't know what the work is that y'all been doing, but the work that I have been doing so far, 2025, honey, y'all prepare to be sick of me. Okay? Prepare to be sick of me because this is going to be a year of, the hard work. Y'all gonna see the work that y'all put in come to life. If you were scared to take that step, you are going to have so many people around you encouraging you. It's nice that we sit on TikTok live and we are very encouraging, but it's time to do the work. It's time to come from behind the camera and actually do the work. Let's get out here and let's help one another. Again, podcast is open for everybody to come on and have these conversations. There's a mogul retreat that is going to happen that is going to bring everybody together to build community. So we could get from behind this virtual stuff and actually come together, build a community, do the work. And sometimes you do need the help. But I'm telling y'all, I am so happy. I am so humbled. I just had to come on and just share with y'all of how important it is to plant that seed, how important it is to water it. And the fun part comes when you can reap the harvest. But don't try to reap that harvest too soon. You're going to have some celebrations along the way, but you still got to be patient. This is just this is just a snippet of what God has in store for me. I can't even tell y'all what the grand scale of things that what that looked like because I don't even know myself, but I know that I am doing the work. And if you have to make the sacrifice to not get your nails done, you gotta make the sacrifice. Like I said, ladies, take them lashes off. We may have to go without getting our hair done. Y'all see, I'm sitting here with my hair done because I had a birthday and I really felt bad with getting my hair done because I'm like, dang, that's money I could put elsewhere. But have to celebrate yourself. You have to. It's not gonna work if you don't. But just be encouraged. Be excited for this year. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Be quiet and listen. Y'all sitting, y'all sitting and able to watch me in the Ladies Lounge podcast because I was quiet. I knew I wanted to be inspiring. I knew I wanted to be uplifting and motivating people. I just didn't know what that looked like. I said, God, what am I doing? I'm having these conversations at work. People are like, I love your energy. People calling in, y'all. I work for a bank. I've shared that with y'all. Y'all calling in to have me transfer your funds, and then you're like, can I talk to you about? Sure, talk to me. What is it that you need to get off your chest? Because we are all human. And yet here we are sitting in the Ladies Lounge podcast. It can be done, and it will be done. You have to speak that over yourself. You have to be quiet. Turn the music down. I know we love music. I love, love, love music. I love listening to the words of music. I love the beats and all of these great things. But sometimes you have to turn that down. Turn it off. What Teddy B say? Turn it off. Turn the TV off. Go in your safe space and listen. You will learn a lot. You are quiet. So I hope that something I said on here, and I said I wasn't on here before y'all long and look at me like one of those pastors, but I hope that there is something that I said that was motivating, inspiring. Pull out that notepad, get that calendar, get that journal. I don't even care if you got to get a piece of paper, but start somewhere. Make the vision clear, write it down, do the work, be patient with yourself. That watering part, you're going to have a lot of patience. And if you don't have a lot of patience, you're going to have to rely on God a lot more than what you think you're going to have to rely on for. You're going to have to ask for the patience because where else are you going to get it from? That watering stage is going to take some time. It's going to take some time. And you're not going to be able to reap the harvest until you have that patience, until you do the work. And be humble. Y'all be humble. We want things microwavable. You want to put it in the microwave and hit 30 seconds, and you want your food to come out warm. You may have to put it on for 3 minutes. May have to even put it back in the oven, set that oven, to 350 and wait for the oven to warm up. And, these are the process that you may have to go through. But do it. If you are scared, do it scared. That is the best time to do it. Just do it. Start. I don't know about y'all, but we talking about life is time is timing. Okay? We already in 2025. I don't, it's January 11th of 2025. I don't know if y'all on the same page I'm on, but this time is moving by very, very fast. Set your intention. Be intentional. Be humble. That word, humble. I'm going to leave y'all with this question and put it in the chat when you go back and you watch it. What are your words for 2025? Mine is faith and action. This year is actionable for me. I am leaning a lot more on my faith because I know, I know, I know, I know. I know what I know because I'm going through it, y'all. I'm human just like anybody else. But the good part about it is, the harvest, just being able to celebrate, just being able to just say, God, I did it. We did it. So I always want to hear your story of how you overcame something, please share it with me. Please find me on TikTok under Ladies Lounge. Please find me on Facebook under Britt Danielle. Message me if you have my number. Please share the story. I want to hear. I am watching all of it. I'm watching and I'm learning. And if you are watching me, I hope that there is something that I said tonight that resonated with you. I hope that this was inspiring. I hope that, you start. If it's the travel, if you scared to go on a cruise by yourself, I could connect you with my sis. Live more travel. I'm shouting her out, okay? Because what I heard her say is she go with her client on a trip if you scared to go. She gonna hold your hand. You may want to connect with people like that. My sis Andronette, uh, Mary Kay Guru. If you want to get that skincare routine down pat, baby, you may want to connect. Not you may, but you need to connect with Andronette, who's gonna get you right. And you want to connect, and I'm naming these ladies because I see them in my chat. Also too, these are phenomenal women. That was something else I had to learn. I had to learn how to change my circle of people. And God brought them to me. And these are some women who are very dedicated to what they do. And I could speak for both of them, but more so I know Internet a lot longer. But when you talk about who ain't gonna take no ish, who gonna keep you on your ish, these are women and people that you need in your corner. The fact that I have people calling me, to say, hey, what's the goal for the day? What are we working on? How come we haven't gone live? Y'all, I have been so nervous to go live by myself. We being transparent here in the ladies' lounge, because I was like, y'all don't want to hear me talk. Y'all might want to, hear, y'all love it when I have a guest on, but you're going to hear me talk in 2025. You're going to hear me talk because I have a story to tell. I got some ish to say in a good way because I want to share myself with you all. I want to be inspiring and encouraging to let you know that you got this. And if you don't got it, we have the resources. Go back and check out some of my episodes. I have people on who are here. They're saying, hey, I got you. Here's the resources. So with that said, this Wednesday, I am so excited. We're back in the Ladies Lounge podcast at 7 p.m. I have Darius, who is the founder of this nonprofit organization. And men, you want to tap in the Ladies Lounge because let me tell y'all how the men are stepping up in the Ladies Lounge, y'all. All my next episode for the rest of January are all men. Are all men. Here it is that I thought that I was going to create this space for women. We can talk. I ain't saying that we still don't need to talk, but the Ladies Lounge, God say is bigger than that. The Ladies Lounge is for men and women. So men, do not let the lady part of the lounge keep you from coming in and having these conversations because we both need each other. I am so proud when I tell y'all we are reaping harvest over here. I'm so proud that my men are showing up and having conversations. So y'all want to start with this week's episode with Darius, who is going to come talk to you and share some resources because it's a lot of men out here don't even know that they have resources to help them if they're going through, the loss of a child, if they're going through a breakup. And now, my ladies, y'all be out here trying to hold these men, back and have these men feeling like they don't have no rights to their kids. Okay, man, come on Wednesday night, and we're gonna have this conversation and connect you with Darius. I don't want to give too much away because I need y'all to be on Wednesday. But as always, y'all, I love y'all. And when I say do it scared and just do it, here I am. Here I am. I just did it. I just hit the live button and I just did it. I was so nervous to do this, but why not? Why not? I created this space for y'all. And so why not take advantage of the space that I created as well? I love y'all. I am here. Ladies Lounge podcast is not going anywhere. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for having your notification bells on to know that I was going live because I snuck in on y'all now. Now, I said do it scared, but you ain't got to make no announcement when you're doing it neither. But I am so grateful for you all who had on your notification bells to know that I went live. I see I can't sneak past some of y'all. But 2025 is a good year. We are thriving 25. I am excited. I'm excited for myself. Most importantly, I'm excited for each one of you all in your journey in your business, in your journey personally. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited for my family. I'm excited for the things that I do know and understand, um, that the goals that my family have set for themselves. I'm excited for my son, y'all. He is, this is the end of, his junior year, y'all. I'm about to have a senior, and I am so excited. My son, class of 26, y'all. Ooh, I am so excited of what just what God have in store. So turn that frown upside down. We hear that a lot, but I smile more a lot, even in the midst of what I'm going through. That smile is contagious. It really can change the day. It really sets the tone. So do the work, y'all. Get out your own way. So we're planting the seed, we're watering it, and I want to be a part of your harvest. So until then, I will see you all on Wednesday at 7 p.m. right back here in the Ladies Lounge podcast. I thank you all for being here. I